Hi everybody, it's Breedlove
and Molly, and we're here with AllEars to perform an experiment here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
That's right, Molly is starting over in Pandora. I'm starting at Dinosaur. We're going to see who gets through the top 5 rides here fastest.
Yes, we're going to be tracking our weights. We're going to be sharing some tips and tricks along the way about how to plan your Animal Kingdom day. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
It's going to be wild. I had to make that joke. Bye, have fun on Dinosaur.
Okay, thank you. Have fun in Pandora.
Vivaco.
Here we go. Dinoland, USA, here we come.
All right, so I am headed to Pandora first, which is definitely where the majority of people that hear this early are headed. The park hasn't even officially opened yet, but we are frolicking through, and I'm about to go get in line for Flight of Passage with everyone else. So right now it's a little after 7:30. The park doesn't officially open until 8 a.m., but they started letting cars in through the toll plaza around 7:10, which is pretty early. So we're gonna see how fast we can do this. I think both of us are gonna end up waiting in one significant line of 45 minutes or longer. I think for Breedlove, it'll be when he gets here to Pandora. I think for me, it'll be when I get over to Dinosaur. If you did watch my perfect day in Animal Kingdom video, where I spent an entire wonderful day here and planned from beginning to end, you may know that Flight of Passage isn't even my recommendation for the first thing in the morning. It's actually my recommendation to do very, very last. But since we're here at Rope Drop, I'm gonna show you what it looks like to rope drop Flight of Passage. Maybe you're not gonna stay here all day. Maybe you're park hopping. But my personal choice for first is safaris, because the earlier you can go, the more active the animals are, because it's still a little chilly out and the animals like to wake up, and you can see the lions usually on rope drop and not have a long line at safari. But hello.
Everyone, Flight of Passage will be right this way.
Thank you. Sweet cast member. Oh, nothing like those early morning Pandora views though, am I right? How gorgeous is that?
Okay, so I have arrived here at the entrance of Dinosaur, and as you can see, there is no wait time posted, and the reason for that is that it doesn't open until 8. So I am going to stand here and be the very first person in line, but just keep in mind, even though we were here for rope drop, some of the first people walking into Animal Kingdom today, I am now stopped for 20 minutes waiting for my first ride to open.
I feel as though, I can't 100% tell yet, I feel as though they're not actually letting people into the real part of the queue yet. Possible there. Yep, I see down at the end lots of cast members at the entrance, which means they haven't officially started actually opening the attraction, and that this line is going to be super long.
So when Dinosaur first opened with Disney's Animal Kingdom in 1998, it opened as a ride called Countdown to Extinction. Not much about the actual ride changed, but they did change the name, and they added some elements with the Iguanodon, who is the star of the 2000 Disney computer animation film, also called Dinosaur. So in order to cross-promote with the film, they definitely thought it was going to be a much more successful film than it ended up being. They changed the name of Countdown to Extinction to Dinosaur, and that's the ride that we have today. There was a pretty substantial closure in 2016, during which time they updated some of the effects and just sort of gave everything a general refurbishment. Not much about the ride itself actually changed, but it did get quite an overhaul not too long ago in terms of the existing effects and the existing storyline.
How are you today, editor? It's always, you know, it's always about us, but I hope you're having a nice day too. All right, I see the cast members at the end of the line sign. They're wrapping everybody around. So I guess I'm right here. Sounds good.
And this is a neat little touch. This is a plaque commemorating the dedication of the Dino Institute on April 22nd, 1978. In reality, Disney's Animal Kingdom opened on April 22nd, 1998. So they are setting this 20 years to the day before the opening day of actual Disney's Animal Kingdom.
They're routing us into the Festival of the Lion King theater, or just part of the queue. Oh man, do I miss Festival of the Lion King. It is quite possibly my favorite thing in a Disney park, in Walt Disney World. And it's supposed to come back this summer in a modified version, and you could bet I will be there opening day, just crying my eyeballs out, watching as many shows as I can possibly be allowed into. It is so good. But right now we're using part of the queue. The extended Festival of the Lion King queue is now becoming the extended Pandora queue. The queue has started moving. It's 7:47 right now, which makes me think they actually opened it up about 7:45. And now people are able to start heading into the actual part of the queue and get on a Banshee. All right, so we are definitely moving at a much healthier clip. I think we're gonna keep stopping as they stop and direct traffic at this crosswalk up here, which is how they let people down towards Satuli Canteen and Pongu Pongu versus actually in the line. And we'll see how long it actually takes. If you're wondering what all the fuss is about, why people are getting in line for an attraction so early, this is one of the most popular attractions in all of Disney World. Second to Rise of Resistance is the most technologically advanced attraction. It's definitely the most popular ride in this park. Back when FastPass existed, this was the hardest FastPass to get. It is a very cool attraction. 44-inch height requirement. It is a simulator attraction, but not like one you've ever experienced before, because it truly feels like you're flying on the back of a Banshee in James Cameron's fever dream, the world of Avatar. But it's awesome. I'm personally more of a physically moving, like, ride person, like a coaster. But this attraction is incredible, and it's an absolute must-do when you're coming in. Plus, I will never get over how cool the floating mountains are. Like, they're jaw-droppingly awesome. How did they do that? I know how they did it. I watched The Magic of Disney Imagineering. But they're amazing. They boggle my mind every time. The posted wait time is a 70-minute wait. They just are starting us off with a 70-minute wait. Now, I really don't think we're gonna wait anywhere near that long. Hello. I think they started that long, because maybe if you were just now arriving at the park, it would hit 70 minutes. But I think hopefully we'll be on in under 45. I hope even less. I wonder what Breedlove's doing right now. It's just about officially 8 o'clock. I wonder if he's on Dinosaur already.
Okay, they're letting us into the Dino Institute right now. It's exactly 8 a.m. on the dot. Wow, I am having an amazing feel. I'm completely alone. Okay, here is Grant Seeker. Are we going to see Felicia Rashad? Felicia. You know what? We've got to go, so I have to say it. I can't believe I'm saying it. Bye, Felicia. Thank you so much. Here we are, literally walking onto the ride. We are going to be moments behind that 8 a.m. We might even be boarding the ride still at 8 a.m. How quickly was I able to walk through? Good morning, just one.
Row 1.
Okay, great. So I am being loaded onto row number 1, which is awesome because this is the row with that little bit of extra leg room, which is nice. I am 6'1", and it will be a little bit of a more comfortable ride. As you see, our ride vehicle has not even arrived yet. We are so super early. We are witnessing the arrival of the very first ride vehicle of the day, on which we will board and ride Dinosaur together. I know for a fact, I can feel it. Molly's in a much longer line than we are, and we're getting on a ride before she is.
All right, here it is. Here it is. We are about to officially enter posted 70. Hello. Hello. We are officially in the Flight of Passage queue. How very exciting. I want to point out that rider swap is still available on any Disney attraction. Just talk to the cast members at the front of the ride. Rider swap, if you're not familiar, is a service that allows parents that have somebody too small in their party to ride something. It allows the one person to wait with the child while other people ride the attraction and then swap. And the people, when they swap, get to go through the Fast Pass line so they don't have to wait in line twice. They'll set it up for you and put it on your Magic Band. But that is still available. Make sure to take advantage of that if you've got little ones. Disability Access Service, which you set up with guest relations if you require that, also typically uses the Fast Pass line. We get a lot of questions like, hey, is Fast Pass back? I see people in the Fast Pass line. No, Fast Pass is not back. There are a few circumstances that would let you go in the Fast Pass line, but the majority of those people are going to be using Disability Access Service and rider swap. I wonder what Breedlove is doing. I wonder how early they let him into the Dinosaur queue. I wonder if he's already ridden Dinosaur. Has he already seen my friend and yours, Dr. Grant Seeker? I have no idea.
Now, something interesting happened. The Dr. Grant Seeker voiceover stopped right at the beginning of the ride, so we're not hearing Grant Seeker. This is very interesting. It's kind of a quiet ride without Grant Seeker yelling at us.
Another big guy coming up.
There he is. He came back.
12 and identified.
Sauropod.
Still not our dino, but at least this one's a vegetarian.
Oh, he's vegetarian. I'm vegan. I'm vegan, sir. Nice to meet you, brother.
We're still hashtag moving and grooving. We're about to get into my favorite part of the queue. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, on any video right now, the way that wait times are determined, the two biggest factors are the capacity and how fast they can load and unload people. So a ride like Flight of Passage doesn't have a ton of capacity, and it takes a while to get people on and off those bikes, which is why, combined with how popular this attraction is, the wait time gets so long and stays there for most of the day. Whereas if you've got attractions like Expedition Everest, which have a high capacity, they're loading every row, and it loads and unloads in two different places, so you can get people on and off faster, it stays pretty low throughout the day, relatively speaking. So that's your biggest factor when it comes to wait times right now, which is my advice for this attraction, is usually very last thing.
Thanks for everything.
And at 8:07, we are leaving this ride. I wonder if Molly's even on Flight of Passage yet.
That's what we're gonna look like any minute now. Gonna gain, a couple feet, be ready to fly. Connect my ponytail right up, and off we go. So if you rode this before the closure, you'd know that there were two pre-shows, one with the Fly Guy and one with Dr. Jackie Ogden. They've kind of combined them together, and instead of standing on the individual number dots, you will stand on the circles, and they've combined it together so one flight party sees the pre-show at the same time, split across the two rooms.
Here we are, approaching the entrance to Expedition Everest. When this ride first opened, they had a very impressive Yeti animatronic whose movements were very fluid and very fast. He was very scary, but totally, totally awesome. I got the opportunity to ride Everest while Yeti was still functioning. Betty the Yeti was in full effect at the time of the very first riding of this ride for me. In a few years though, Betty the Yeti, she unfortunately broke down and she was no longer moving, so they added strobe lights to create the illusion of some movement. And guess what? She looked like she was in a dance party, and people affectionately dubbed her Disco Yeti. So Betty the Yeti has been entertaining guests here since 2006 when this ride opened. This is 200, just under 200 feet tall. You know, Disney has this rule about making things just under 200 feet because if they have to make anything above 200 feet, they have to put a little blinking light for passing airplanes for air traffic safety. So they keep everything just under 200 feet, but there's 1,800 tons of steel in there. Now, if you're familiar with what it takes to build an actual building of 200 feet, it's about 1/6 of that amount of steel. So this has 6 times the amount of steel that it takes to build an equivalent size building. This is Expedition Everest, and I'm about to ride this and we'll see how quickly I can get through it. It says 5 minutes. We'll see how long it really is.
I know I talk a big game, like I don't think simulators are that cool. Wow, that attraction's awesome. That attraction is so good. I haven't ridden it in a while, and I forget how amazing it is. You can feel the Banshee breathing in between your legs. You can feel it when it walks and takes off. It is such a cool attraction, absolutely a must-do for anyone that's going to Animal Kingdom and is 44 inches or taller. It is a simulator, so you may get a little motion sick. I get a little motion sick. For reference, I get a lot motion sick on Star Tours or Mission Space or a lot of things at Universal. I don't get super duper motion sick, just a little queasy. Maybe you don't eat right before you get on it.
That doesn't look good.
Here we go! Yeah! But now we are headed across Pandora to check off the other attraction in this land, Navi River Journey. Until very recently, Navi River Journey often had one of the longest lines in the entire park because they weren't filling the boats to capacity. Navi River Journey would have a longer line than Flight of Passage, which I think anybody who's ridden both can agree that's a little silliness. This attraction is cool, don't get me wrong. It's a slow-moving boat ride. The entire family can ride this one, so it's great to go on if you've got people that aren't tall enough or don't want to ride Flight of Passage. But I definitely personally wouldn't recommend waiting more than 30 or so minutes for it. If you've never been, there's one animatronic that'll absolutely boggle your mind I recommend going to see. But we're moving and grooving pretty quick through this. This doesn't feel like it's going to be 20 minutes, which is great.
Okay, I've just gotten word from Molly that she has completed riding Flight of Passage and she's on her way to Navi River Journey. I have completed my first 2 rides and I'm on my way back to Africa in the back of the park. I'm about to ride the Kilimanjaro Safari. I'm very excited to do so because it's morning and this is the best time to see most of the animals. Well, it's one of 2 best times of the day. You either want to go in the morning when it's cooler because more animals will be out, or in the evening when it's cooler too. I've done both, and I have to say, I'm really split on which one is my favorite. So right now there's a posted wait time of 35 minutes. That's pretty good for Kilimanjaro Safari. This line can get pretty long as the day goes on. So I'm feeling pretty good about our progress. We've definitely completed 2 rides. Molly's in line for her second. We'll see how quickly we can get through the line for this one and head over to Pandora to ride the 2 rides that she's already ridden. This is going to be a very interesting experiment. I can't wait to find out the outcome. In the meantime, we're arriving at the entrance to Kilimanjaro Safari, and I can't wait to see how long it really takes us to get through the line, because so far we've been lucky and literally walked on.
It's been 3 minutes since I walked into this queue, and I'm the next party to get on a boat. So safe to say 20 minutes is not true this early. And while I don't think Breedlove's going to wait in a super long line for this one, I bet he will wait longer than 5 minutes, which is how long I'm going to wait. But he's probably already done with Everest. I wonder what he's doing right now.
The African word for giraffe is twiga. Lion, very appropriately named Simba. Fundamilia, two words together make up the word for zebra, rhino, is kafaru.
All right, we are off Navi River Journey. It is a really cool attraction, and every time I see the Shaman of Song, I am like, that's a person, right? That's not an animatronic. Sometimes I wave to her. It's bonkers. You should ride it just to see that animatronic, if nothing else. But don't wait more than like 30 or so minutes for it.
You know what?
Which I did not. But now we are done with the world of Avatar, and we are headed to Africa. Awe ma, awe ma.
Things to keep in mind about Kilimanjaro Safari, while there is no height requirement, there is a bit of a bumpy ride. So if you have members of your family or your travel party that are uncomfortable with bumpier rides, this is something you're going to want to be aware of and take into consideration when people are deciding if they want to ride this or not. The other thing, this ride is at least 20 minutes long, if not 30 minutes, depending. So you're going to want to check in with everybody in your party and see if everyone has had the opportunity to use the restroom, whatever they need to feel comfortable and settled in for a bit of a long experience. It's worth it, but it takes a long time.
We are entering the village of Harambe, which is the fictional village here in Africa. But Disney Imagineers, including Joe Brody, who was the chief Imagineer for Animal Kingdom, did go all over the world to build this park. Spent a lot of time in actual Africa, studied the architecture and the artwork, and they did a meticulous amount of details, which is part of the reason I love this park so much. If you just look around at the detail, at the drawings on the walls, the signs on the walls, it'll blow you away how much detail there is in this park. So, all right. We are approaching Safari. It says 35-minute wait. We actually have somebody out here with a little placard, so I would bet 35's not too far off. But we will clock it, see how long it takes.
Oh, Molly is in the Safari queue too?
The posted wait time is now 50 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes since I got in line, and I am about to join the regular part of the queue. So I don't know if I'll wait 50 minutes, but the queue is, getting back there a little bit. They did open up a little section backstage.
Altogether, it was a 53-minute experience today. I am feeling very relaxed. It's so awesome to be able to sit for 22 minutes, that was, on a beautiful safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And I am just totally relaxed now.
We are off of our safari. God, that's a great attraction. We did have a pretty great safari. Really good lion action, really good elephant action. The elephants did not want to share. African wild dogs, I'll admit, they're pretty cute. They're just not hyenas, you know, but they're very cute. Some good giraffes, zebras, rhinos. We saw pretty much everything. So great safari. Looks like it was still early enough. It's a little chilly today. Like, chilly is relative, but it's not 90 yet. So that was great. An absolute must do, like I said. And now we are headed from Africa, from one continent to the next. We're going to Asia.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get in line for flight of passage. This is where the line will sometimes wrap around. Over here, just past Festival of the Lion King, Harambe Theater, I have ended up directly at the end of the line for flight of passage by going this way.
They're being so loud and funny. I love this park. Oh, they're being so funny. All right, look. It's time to face the beast. Trying to find the end of the line. It has a posted 15-minute wait, but it goes all the way back this way. I believe it though. I think at 15, maybe 20 is probably pretty close because of how fast this attraction loads and unloads, and they are at full capacity. So I think this could actually be 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
Just some things to keep in mind while we're waiting in the line. The ride vehicle is sort of like a motorcycle that straps you in from behind, and it's not going to accommodate all body sizes and shapes. If you're very tall, you might not fit. And so there is a test vehicle out front that you're going to want to try out first before getting in a very long line to only then be disappointed once getting to the actual ride vehicle itself.
All right, so it's up to 20 now. We're clocking it. One thing I love to point out this detail right here, that the actual full name of the attraction is Expedition Everest, The Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. And you can see that the locals actually had put up a warning sign warning you about the Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, but then proprietors Norbu and Bob just went ahead and slapped their Expedition Everest sign on the top of it, which is what gives you the full name for the attraction. This does have a 44-inch height requirement, so same thing as Flight of Passage. If you've got younger ones, it's actually not too far from Dino Land, so a great thing to do is take them over to do Triceratops Spin, or take them on the Maharaja Jungle Trek, which is in Asia. There's tigers and bats, birds, monkeys, different things they can look at while your older ones ride Expedition Everest.
Now, we've been in line for about 15 minutes, and the posted wait time's now been reduced to 70 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see. I think we're looking at a much shorter wait than what has been posted, which brings us a lot closer to matching Molly's total wait time. It's going to be very interesting to see at the end of all of this which one of us got through our 5 rides first. I have not heard from Molly for a while, which makes me think she's currently on Kilimanjaro Safari.
Yeah!
Which makes me think she probably had a lot longer wait than I did there.
Fred's over there!
So we'll see if it was enough time that I saved by getting on that ride first, or if she breezes through Expedition Everest and Dinosaur. Like it looks like she might. The posted wait times for those two are still very low, so it's still anyone's game, even though this is an experiment and we're not supposed to be competing against each other.
I love Expedition Everest. It is so fun. Definitely a must-do for me. My favorite coaster at Walt Disney World. So fun. It just celebrated its 15th anniversary, and it still slaps. I wish the Yeti worked. Who doesn't? but the Yeti will likely never be fixed because they would literally have to like dismantle the mountain to get to the Yeti. So, but it's still cool. We still love a disco Yeti. And now we are headed to our final attraction in Dinoland, USA.
And there is the avatar in the tank, and his nickname, as given to him by cast members, Hank in the Tank. Hi, Hank.
Scooting our way into Dinoland, USA. Actually, low-key, one of my favorite lands when it comes to detail and backstory. I did a whole video about it when I was trapped here that you can watch, but there's a lot of history. Not people don't realize it. They think, what's up with this weird carnival? But there's actually a lot of detail about how this was a roadside gas station, but then they built the Dino Institute because they found some fossils, and this became a fossil hotbed for dinosaur research. And so then Chester and Hester, the people that owned the gas station, turned it into a roadside attraction and carnival because they knew they could make some money off of it. Meanwhile, the grad students from the Dino Institute who live above Restaurantosaurus opened up a little restaurant so that they could make some money on the side because they're poor grad students, and that's what Restaurantosaurus is. So it all ties together. It's all really cool, and I don't think enough people appreciate the cool factoids about Dinoland. Dinosaur has a posted 35-minute wait, which doesn't surprise me. That's actually a little bit lower than I thought it would be at this point. Dinosaur has low capacity because they can't load the middle row. So at the very most, you're only filling 2/3 of the Jeep. And it's a slow load and unload process. So because of that, they don't have, usually they get a longer line and then stay there for most of the day. It'll come up to an hour or so and then just be there. So I'm actually surprised it's only 35. Let's see how long it actually takes.
46 minutes. We are going and we're loading. Not 70 minutes, 46 minutes.
So, since we're using the full queue, I'm getting to hear the very epic and exciting dinosaur theme music. It's really making me feel excited to go on this attraction, which low-key is kind of underrated at this point. When the park opened, this was the original thrill ride. This was Countdown to Extinction. There was no Everest, there was no Flight of Passage. It was all about Dinosaur, well, Countdown to Extinction. But now everyone's like, oh, Flight of Passage is cool, Everest is cool. And I'm like, yeah, but Dinosaur is pretty awesome as well. If you made me choose, I would actually pick this over Flight of Passage. Please don't yell at me, but I, like I said, prefer a moving vehicle with actual sets and giant animatronics to a simulator. As amazing as Flight of Passage is, I think this attraction, hi there, goes a little underrated now, and I just think it's really fun, it's really thrilling. It's probably the most thrilling ride at Walt Disney World. And I say that because it is loud, it is dark, there are huge dinosaur animatronics charging at your car. I love it. I adore it. Only a 40-inch height requirement, which is lower than Everest or Flight of Passage, but I think scarier than either of those. So keep that in mind. Know your kids, because just because they're tall enough doesn't mean they will enjoy this.
Okay, so we have just gotten off Avatar Flight of Passage. Just to recap, the posted wait time when we got in line was 70 minutes. The actual time until we boarded was 35 minutes. And then once we boarded the actual ride, we ended up being stalled there for about another 20 minutes. So all in all, it was about an hour that from the time we got in line to the time we disembarked. And now we are on our way to Navi River Journey.
Hello there.
It took just about 25 minutes to get into the pre-show, but since the pre-show is really part of the queue, I don't think they're counting it as where the queue should end. So I think it's going to be a little less than 35 minutes. But man, do I love Dr. Grant Seeker. Dr. Marsh.
So here is the line to Navi River Journey. It is actually a posted wait time right now of 60 minutes, 60. So we'll see. I just heard from Molly. She's in line for Dinosaur. So once again, it's pretty close, right? This is not a dramatic time difference, it's sounding like.
All right, Dinosaur took almost exactly 30 minutes, so a little bit under what they said posted, but still pretty close. And now headed to go meet up with Breedlove and see how his day went.
I feel like I am doing a rose ceremony, but I do know that Molly is here waiting for me, and instead of a rose, she's got a coffee.
How was your morning?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
How was yours?
It was great. So all in all, we started our adventure before the park opened. I wrapped up right around 11.
Yes, and I wrapped up around 11:30, 11:35, 9,
Yeah.
somewhere in that zone.
So there's really not that much difference between right and left. It does seem like if you want to get on Flight of Passage with the least amount of wait possible, to guarantee it, you're going to want to go first thing in the morning, or like I said, last thing at night.
That sounds great, and I would say yes, follow your heart. If it's in your heart to start with Dinosaur and end in Avatar,
You can do it.
in Pandora, then you can do that, and it's not a huge waste of time.
No, my best advice though is always to start with safaris though, because you're going to get the best safari possible with the most animal action if you go first thing to safari. So we hope this was helpful to you when planning your Animal Kingdom day. A lot of people come to this park just in the morning, they hop somewhere else, and we were both able to get the most popular rides in the park done well before noon by getting here so early. So now you could go enjoy a meal, a leisurely animal trail, go back to your hotel. The day is yours.
Truly. And it was fun.
And it was great. So get here early, you can do a lot of different things. Let us know what your favorite attraction is at Animal Kingdom down in the comments.
Go ahead and press the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. If you like this video, like it.
Absolutely. Let us know what you want to see next. Follow us on social media at AllEars.net.
And until next time, I'm Breedlove.
I'm Molly.
We'll see you later.
It's been magical.
Thank you.
And wild.
And wild. Claws.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.